Good morning. Good morning. It is a very cloudy, very grey and rainy day in Miami right now. I'm still on South Beach. Behind me over there is my hotel. So what the plan is today is we're going to test out this new lens. We're going to be testing out this 16mm Sony G lens. It's f1.8, which is kind of a nuts combo. 16mm f1.8, you get super blurry background, which is super nice. Love that. So since the weather is pretty shit today, we're going to go to a place called Brickell, which is sort of near like the downtown area of Miami. But I am very, very excited to see what kind of photos, what kind of footage we can get with a 16mm. Like this is like wide, like wide. Not like super wide, but I'm very, very intrigued to see what kind of shots we can get. I think it's going to clear up a bit. The sky's looking blue out there. The sky's looking blue. It's tough because it's so bright, but my ND is starting to vignette. But I want to keep this at like f1.8. I need to stop down my ISO, but that's the plan today. I'm going to take some pictures of some cool buildings, test out this new lens, and see what is occurring in downtown Miami. Very, very intrigued. Okay, so what I've done is I have stopped down my ISO to lower than the base ISO in S-Log3, which is 800, which is quite high for being outside. So I'm now at 200 ISO, which is the lowest ISO I can actually get on this camera. We're waiting for an Uber to pick us up. I've ordered like an electric Uber. I was hoping it was going to be like one of those like Waymo things. I saw a Waymo earlier yesterday. It's those driverless cars. They look pretty sick. I would love to go in one of them, but also I would also be very, very terrified to go in one of them. So yeah, we've got an Uber coming, get some backseat B-roll, and then explore Brickell and the downtown area, because there's some really cool architecture, some really cool buildings, and I think having a 16mm would be quite cool to capture that. I'm really, really intrigued. Look at this depth of field, look at this background blur. This is nuts. Like, there's my hotel, there's me. That is nuts. The autofocus is super fast on this, which I am loving. Okay, I have just taken some photos of, I actually took some photos of this car yesterday with the 35 to 150, but that car right there, which is like constantly parked outside the Hotel Avalon, but just took some photos with the 16mm, and this is going to take some getting used to, I can't lie. This is a really, really interesting lens and not my usual focal length. I'm liking challenging myself with different focal lengths. Like the Leica Q3 is a very different focal length to what I'd usually have. It's like 28mm. My favorite focal length is like anywhere between sort of 35 to 50. Like 50 is probably my favorite focal length. So this is going to be super interesting being stuck at 16mm. Now, because I'm on the A7 IV, if I'm going to film 4K 60, it's going to be cropped. So I'm not entirely sure what the equivalent of that is, but holy hell, it's bright. I'm going to try and avoid 4K 60 today and just try and keep it naturally at sort of 16mm today, but I have got image stabilization on, so that's a tiny little crop as well. All dropped off. I'm in the Brickell area. Because I've never been to Miami before, I have no idea where I am. All I know is this is like an area called Brickell. So I think I'm gonna go the other way because I saw like a coffee shop and I could do with a coffee, I could do with something to eat. But there's like a place called Brickell Plaza that I need to find, because that seems to be like the hub of where like everything sort of is in this area. So we're going to spend a bit of time in the Brickell Plaza area. Very intrigued to see what we can get with this 16mm. I mean, that's just cruel. Okay, so I think I found like the city centre bit. There's like the famous sort of Brickell sign in the middle of the crossroads, like over there. I've been taking some photos. We're going to have a little look at them afterwards. I'm looking for a Joe and the Juice. I think there's a Joe and the Juice around here. Okay, so the Joe and the Juice no longer exists, and it's now a Chipotle or Chipotle. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I'm convinced it's Chipotle. But yeah, there's no Joe and the Juice, so I'm going to find like a different sort of coffee shop, because I could definitely do with some sort of like vanilla latte or something. This looks like the spot. Let's go here. This looks like something special. Holy fuck. Wow. This looks absolutely insane. This also looks absolutely unreal. Okay, so I think my plan now is to get up. You see where that sort of like bridge kind of thing is? Wow, the autofocus is very fast. See where that bridge is? Like all the way over there? That's kind of like a photo spot where you can get like a cool shot of like going down here. And I'd really like to try and find a way to get up there. I think it's accessible. I do think it's accessible because like there's shops and stuff there. So I think we're gonna venture off. I think we're gonna venture off to over there. But holy fuck, look at this area, man. Holy, that's kind of nuts. That is sheesh. Okay, just had to dash the camera away for a moment there because it just started absolutely hammering it down. But I think I found the way to get to where I want to be. There are so many like lights in the background. Look at the bokeh. Look at the bokeh on this lens. Like, it's so good. It's so weird having this sort of level of like depth of field on a 16mm sort of wide lens. Even if I'm bringing it like super close, still super sharp and on the autofocus kind of side of things. But I'm not even like fully stretched out with my hand. Kind of wild. Kind of wild. This is like a cool looking area, I can't lie. Okay, this is the spot, found it. There's actually a bridge below, but this one, like this is the one. Holy hell, what a view. And at 16mm, this is kind of nuts. Editor Connor's gonna put my edit on the screen, but wow. What a sick view, man. I'm getting dripped on because it's like raining, but wow. Alright, we got like a little copyright music situation going on right now, but we're in Raising Cane's. Oh, that focus was very fast, look at that. Very, very nice. We're in Raising Cane's getting some lunch because the weather is taking a little turn for the worse. It is, the weather is taking a little bit of a turn for the worse. But whilst we're sat down here and talking cameras and stuff, I did actually get sent another photography challenge whilst I'm out here in Miami. Somebody else set me a challenge in the last video to get a roller skater and then a shot of a pink neon sign. This time I have a challenge to go photograph the Miami ink tattoo shop. So that's the plan for today. Be interesting to see what we can get with the 16mm photographing the Miami ink shop. Do you remember Miami ink? What show that was? Was that Kat Von D? I feel like it was Kat Von D. But yeah, the plan after I've devoured this is to go photograph that shop. Okay, we have just got the shot of the Miami ink shop, looking very, very cool, iconic building. We've got the shots, I'm going to put it on screen right here. Happy days. Okay, initial thoughts on this lens, the Sony G16mm f1.8. This lens is pretty cool. It definitely is not my favorite focal length. Like I said earlier, I much prefer having a focal length that is like around sort of 35 to 50mm. That's like my favorite focal length, mainly because I love taking pictures of people and portraits. Street photography isn't really my thing. I do like taking pictures of buildings, but this lens definitely encourages you to be a bit more creative. I think I said earlier that when I got my Leica Q3, the thing that really made me enjoy using the Leica was the fact that it was a 28mm. Now that's, again, not my usual focal length, and it's stuck there. That's one of the differences between, obviously, primes and zoom lenses. If you've got a prime, that's all you've got. Like, if you've got a 35mm prime, that's the only lens you've got. Whereas if you've got a zoom lens, like I was using yesterday, which is the 35 to 150, then, you know, I've got so many different focal lengths, so much versatility. Whereas with this, This is very different. Now, the good thing with this lens is, with it being 16mm, the design of it is really good because you can still use ND filters on it, because it doesn't protrude out as much as, say, like the 11mm that they have, where you can't really use an ND filter on it. But when you are using an ND, it does pick up the corners a little bit, so I have noticed a little bit of vignetting on the footage, which is fine. It's, you know, if you're going for that sort of look, I'm not too fussed about the vignetting. If I'm doing like a corporate job where the footage needs to look a little bit cleaner, then yeah, I might be a little bit more concerned about vignetting. But because this is a vlog, it's very run and gun, it's fine, I can tolerate that. And also it's super bright and sunny, so I probably don't need the ND cranked all the way to max on most occasions. The lens itself is incredibly sharp. I have loved the photos that I've taken with it so far. I think we're gonna go out with it tonight to try and get some nighttime shots. So I can see what it's like using this at low light, because, you know, this is an f1.8 lens. I might as well make the most of this super wide open aperture in the darkness. There's some really, really cool neon signs that I want to get some videos for like Instagram Reels, and also some photos as well. So what I'm going to do is put on like a black diffusion filter to see what kind of look I can get from that. Right now, I'm going to have a little chill in the room, recharge. I've just had some lunch at Raising Cane's and also managed to complete my photo challenge of the day. That was a very, very good challenge. Gonna go and work on some of these photos from the 16mm as well. I would have put some on the screen throughout this video, but very, very impressed with this lens so far. I've decided to bite the bullet. The other day's vlog, I was complaining that I don't really like traveling with tripods. They're a bit bulky, and the one tripod that is meant to be really good, which is the Peak Design travel tripod, it's ridiculously expensive. It's like £400, £600 for a tripod, and I'm not about that life. So I've gone onto Uber and I've gone to Best Buy and I've ordered just a cheap little tripod I have absolutely zero intention of bringing home. Okay, the driver's on their way. I've just realised this driver, I think this is a pretty cool feature on Uber, that it lists like your disabilities. So this delivery driver is deaf, so I should probably brush up on my sign language skills. For those who don't know me, I actually used to be a nursery teacher, and I actually used to be pretty fluent in sign language. So thank you. Turns out my sign language skills aren't as rusty as I thought. Had a nice little sort of back and forth, only very basic little communications with the Uber driver, but that is actually such a cool feature that that's like a thing that you can list yourself as deaf, or maybe, I don't know, partially sighted or something. But we have it. This ain't too bad. We've got a bit of height. I mean, you can't actually see it like in frame yet, I don't think, but twist that, loosen it up a bit. Okay, we've erected. Pause. Okay, so I've got the Osmo set up here, and what I'm doing is I've set it up for time-lapse mode for about half an hour, because if I time it just right, sunset, I'm just going to stop down my aperture, sunset should hopefully be sort of taking place, and we'll be able to see all of those like neon lights start to come on and really sort of like shine through. So that's the plan there. Perfect. We are losing so much light right now, and usually this is something I complain about, but because this is like a low light test, I am very, very excited to see what this can do. Okay, black diffusion filter on. The lights and highlights should look a little bit more glowy. I mean, I could do this in post. I've got a really good sort of plug-in that does this really well, but I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to. This looks really nice. as you can see, the footage from the 16mm looks super cool. I'm back on the Osmo. It's the next day. I was going to film like my initial thoughts of using it at the night time, like after I got in from filming that sort of like GTA 6 cinematic like sequence, but I actually had like a bit of a howler. My camera bag broke, like both of the zips at the same time. Both of the zips came off the rails, and I was basically carrying my camera bag like a child down Ocean Drive, which was not ideal at all. So yeah, that was not good fun. Luckily managed to repair it, but I do need like a new everyday camera bag, because yeah, that one's kind of broke now. Anyway, back to talking about this 16mm lens. I really like it. I had no real intention of buying this lens. I very much got convinced to buy this lens, and I'm very glad I did. It's a very cool lens. I think for photography and events, it's definitely challenged me to get creative with my shots, because typically I do tend to stay around the 35-50mm mark, but having this prime lens fixed at 16mm has been quite interesting, and I've quite enjoyed getting the shots that you can obviously see on the screen right now with this lens. It's super interesting. Drawbacks to it is, yes, you can see a little bit of vignetting if you're using an ND filter. Maybe it's best to have, like, rather than a variable ND, like a fixed sort of ND filter, so fixed at like ND 32 or ND 128. This one on the Osmo right now is a fixed 128 neutral density filter, because I found that the variable ones, you can see a lot of vignetting when you step it up higher, and if you want to stay at the f1.8 range and it's bright outside, you are going to need a very strong ND. So that's something I need to consider when filming outside. Anything where I don't fully need the ND all the way at the max is fine. It's just in super bright conditions. Pros of this lens are it is very lightweight and small. It is like a super sick like vlogging setup if you're just run and gun vlogging. For me, I really like it. It's super wide, like the image quality is great. It's very sharp, and the colors that it produces are top notch as well. In terms of photography as well, it's a really sick lens for photography. So yeah, that is my little vloggy kind of review of the Sony 16mm f1.8G lens. It's a kind of nuts combo, and it's definitely going to be in my camera bag from this day forward once I get a new one. Because yeah, this one right next to me down there, yeah, that one's going in the bin when I get home. Hopefully it survives the trek home from Miami. Fingers crossed. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.